What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Dummy Wormy, and I'm coming at you with another video. And when it comes to Daily Wire's Snow White, we really haven't heard much of the goings on about this movie ever since its initial launch back in October of 2023. All we really know was that Brett Cooper was involved with it and that it was being worked on. Well, since then, we actually had some shakeup over at Daily Wire, and Brett Cooper ended up leaving. Now, there was some big drama about this, and I didn't really cover it because honestly, it was all over the place, and I didn't know what to make heads or tails of until Brett Cooper came out and said that she was actually leaving. Following the fact that she was leaving, a lot of people said, well, at least Snow White's gonna still be going on. Snow White's still being made. She's working with them on other content as well. She's in their animated show that isn't really doing that well, but at the same time, she was going to be a part of their Pendragon saga, for example. So people thought, well, she's still working there. She still has projects that she's been a part of that are obviously going to come out and she's going to get royalties for or something like that. Well, we actually had some shakeup recently, and this went under the radar for me, but we come over here to this. Daily Wire's anti-woke Snow White seemingly canceled after Brett Cooper's departure. Now, when it comes to stories like this, again, normally I take it with a massive grain of salt until I hear it from Daily Wire or any of these outlets. It's just rumors, it's hearsay. I don't have any proof to justify it. It's just all around crazy. That's really why I wasn't covering the Brett Cooper story to begin with, because, well, it's a bunch of craziness that's going on there. The thing is, this is being reported on by Niche Gamer. When it comes to a lot of these journalists things that cover the cultural commentary, gaming news, media news, stuff like that, you know, you got your Bounding Under Comics, you got your Fandom Pulses, you got your That Park Place, but Niche Gamer is the gold standard. Niche Gamer does really good work on this stuff, and usually when they're going to report on something, they're going to give you the straight and narrow news. They might bring up woke, DEI, anti-woke, all this stuff here or there, but they're just giving you the facts and they're not going to be editorializing. So when I'm seeing them actually report on this, I give it a little bit more credibility because they don't normally run around in the whole rumor mill. Again, though, until we hear it from Daily Wire themselves, take this story with a grain of salt. But when I read through this, yeah, it's not really good. Conservative media company, the Daily Wire, made headlines recently by parting ways with Brett Cooper, one of their most popular pundits and the host of the comment section YouTube channel. Brett Cooper's sudden departure from the Daily Wire has thrown into doubt the future of several Daily Wire productions, namely Mr. Birchum, which is an atrocious show. To top it all off, Brett Cooper's Snow White and the Evil Queen movie appears to have been canceled. And normally, again, I would wait till Daily Wire would say something, but Niche Gamer saying this, and what they later say in this article, if it is true what Daily Wire was trying to do with this particular movie, I'm happy that it got canceled because they fundamentally don't understand what they need to be doing with the style of content and what their actual goals should be. Because my God, I can't believe somebody is this idiotic to think that they need to do this. But when we actually scroll down here to why they think this actually got canceled, it gets even more disturbing. According to producer Reagan, one of the things Brett Cooper disagreed with the Daily Wire about was whether Snow White and the Evil Queen should be political or not. And the answer to that is no. Simple enough, no. Because it should just be a story. When you're trying to do this content, when you're trying to make stuff like this, that rivals the Disney's Snow White and stuff like that. No, you shouldn't be coming out here and trying to make a political. Just tell a good story. When it comes to a lot of the Daily Wire projects, yes, their most successful projects have been things like Matt Walsh's Am I Racist or What is a Woman? But those are supposed to be more political or satirical style content that is focused in on the politics. When it comes to Snow White and the Evil Queen or Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs or anything like that, leave politics out of it as much as possible. Make this just a simple enough good story so that anybody and everybody can come here and go like, hey, you know what? This is actually good. We're going to sign up to this project, or we're going to sign up to Daily Wire Plus or whatever the heck it's called right now. We're going to watch this. We're going to see some of the other content on there. That's what your goal should have always be. But the simple fact that there's even an argument that it should have been made political in the first place is ridiculous. But the thing is, if this is true, Daily Wire should never have even attempted this movie, because guess who was the people trying to make it political? The Daily Wire. The Daily Wire reportedly wanted to add a bunch of subplots with the purpose of triggering leftist viewers, though those subplots were not in the original Snow White tale, which, if completely true, is idiotic. Why the heck would you ever want to do this? When it came to Lady Ballers, okay, Lady Ballers, obviously satirical, obviously it was going to be made a little bit more political, it was obviously a joke and stuff, but the problem is you started explaining these jokes and you went too heavy-handed in a lot of your politics and stuff. When it comes to a story like Snow White, politics shouldn't be a part of it. Tell a good story. You're already trying to make a movie to rival the Disney movie. You did this specifically to try to spite Disney. And your goal there should be, hey, Disney's going to make a political junk thing filled with leftist identity politics all day and night and all this virtue signaling nonsense. Here's our story, which is faithful adaptation that has no politics in it whatsoever, and we're just focused in on telling a good story. Yeah, that should have always been the forefront of this thing, and that should have been your sole goal here. The simple idea that you wanted to put politics into this is insane to me and is pure garbage. But guess who was the person pushing back on this? Again, according to this report, Brett Cooper. Brett Cooper, on the other hand, wanted her Snow White film to be apolitical, a faithful retelling of the original tale that could be appreciated by conservative, apolitical, leftists, and everyone in between. And that's how it should have been. Again, if all this is true, if all this reporting is factual, Brett Cooper was right. And if this is the main reason she left the Daily Wire, she had all the right to leave the Daily Wire. When it comes to Snow White, it seems right now that Daily Wire's iteration is dead in the water. I could be proven wrong right now, but it seems by this reporting, it's done and over with. And the sole fact that Brett Cooper was the one trying to say, hey, make it apolitical, and that could have been why she left. Yeah, she should have left. And this should have never been an idea for Daily Wire to begin with. Don't focus in on this. And this is something that conservative media has been failing for a long time. Yes, the other side is putting all the politics into shite right now, and they constantly keep doing it and doubling down and doubling down and doubling down because they think that's what they need to be doing, because they're ideologically motivated to do so, and they don't understand why anybody else doesn't want that. When it comes to what the right should be doing right now, they should just be solely focused in on apolitical content outside of the small moments where you do get political. Again, am I racist or what is a woman? Yeah, get political there because you are technically more of a political idea right there, and do it in a satirical manner because it actually works. But when it comes to a Snow White, apolitical. Don't be pushing politics here. Don't even think to need to be pushing politics here, because the sole idea that you want to be pushing politics here is laughable. You need to focus in on good storytelling. Good storytelling first and foremost. Why do you think things like the Rippaverse is so successful right now? Why do you think the Rippaverse is actually constantly having successful comic after successful comic after successful comic? It's because their comics are apolitical. No BS in them, no politics in them, nothing. They're just focused in on telling a good story. Why is Critical Drinker so successful in his books and in his upcoming movie? Apolitical. Just telling you a good story, a fun time, moving on. That's the whole focus there. And when I see things like this from the Daily Wire, when I see stuff like this coming out from them, when they're focusing in on the anti-woke, we need to be anti-woke. No, tell a good story, audiences will come. And if you're focusing in on doing something that's anti-woke and focusing in on all the politics and all this, you failed from the beginning and you shouldn't even attempted it to begin with. But I'm going to leave it there. Let me get you guys' thoughts on all this down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Shout out friends, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video live, guys. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.